What's up guys, Ghost here, back with some more BF3 tips. Today we're going to be taking a look at minimap awareness and how you can best use it to help out your team stay alive longer and net yourself a few extra kills. Now I did cover this previously in a video going over some infantry play tips, but I really didn't go in depth, and I kind of decided that the minimap is such an important thing in Battlefield as well as any other shooter that it really deserved a little bit of elaboration and its own video. So the first thing you're going to need to know before we get started, if you didn't already, is that you can actually zoom into the minimap with 3 different levels and you can enlarge it. Now by default, the key to enlarge the minimap is M, and the key to zoom in or sort of cycle through the zoom levels is N. And I actually rebind M to Alt because enlarging the minimap is something I do quite often whenever I'm sort of running towards an objective or towards the action. When I just spawn in, I will usually enlarge the minimap and zoom out with the N key in order to get a little bit of a better overview of the battlefield and sort of how we're progressing. But for the most part, I will usually just have it on the biggest zoom level because I want to be able to see where my enemies are in correlation to my surroundings. And if you have it zoomed out, it's really difficult to see that. All the kind of icons like the red dots, your teammates, and especially if you're playing Assault and you get those huge resurrection icons, everything just kind of meshes together and becomes one big blob on the minimap if you have it down in the bottom left and you have it zoomed in. Another thing to note is if you wish, you can actually tinker around with the in-game files and you can change the position of the minimap. As default, if you're using a 16:9 type display, then it will be right down in the bottom left as you see in my gameplay footage here. Personally, I don't really have a problem with that, but I know a lot of people like to tamper with the files and change it so that it's a little bit closer to their crosshair. So when playing Battlefield, I'm always watching the minimap when I'm reloading, if I'm ducking behind cover, whenever I'm running through like a safe area to get to an objective, I'll always be glancing at the minimap and even enlarging it just for a split second to gain a little bit of extra insight. And if you're not doing that and you're not really glancing at the minimap, well, I would say at least half of the time, then you're probably doing something wrong. Now, minimap awareness is absolutely critical, guys. Whether it's a red dot from an enemy, a teammate looking in a certain direction, a dead player symbol, or even a med kit, all of these things can let you get a read on the battlefield and are really going to help you in deciding what is your best course of action given any certain situation. And the footage in the background here is on Metro. We're playing some rush defense and we're pretty much pushing the enemy back as far as we can go here, and they're all sort of piling up close to their deployment. We're going in there and getting into the action as far as we can without going out of bounds within the game, and it's really just a number of examples of how I'm reading the minimap in order to get a good flank on the enemy, get some nice grenade kills and that kind of thing. Not only that, but the minimap and being aware of what's going on in it can not only help you get good flanks on the enemy, but also it can give you a clue as to which areas to avoid. You know, you don't really want to be going into a big congested area. If you see a load of death symbols of your teammates and you see a load of red blips, and you can pretty much assume that your teammates have just got them mowed down, and you probably want to go and avoid that area, or at least if you decide to engage the opponents over there, you probably want to go and try and flank them. Now, if I can see from the minimap that some teammates kind of have my back, then I won't worry about that direction too much. You can see here I'm sort of working the middle of Metro, and down on the left there are quite a few red blips, but they don't really seem to be noticing me or looking in my direction, and I know that we have quite a few teammates, possibly snipers, sort of laying down suppressing fire, so I'm just going to let my teammates deal with those guys. I'm not going to go and place myself in danger's way, and that's usually a safe bet. You know, you can rely on your teammates. If they're looking in some direction, you should really be covering other angles that they're not covering, and I definitely wouldn't say that you should put 100% of your faith in somebody that you don't know and you don't know how good a player they are. You're not on live comms with them or anything. So, you know, you're still going to have to keep an eye on your minimap. And if you see that they go down, then that's a clear signal that you need to look in that direction and there's an enemy coming for you next. Now, in this day and age in computer games, we're lucky enough to have much more senses than we did. You know, sound didn't really play a big part in first-person shooters for the longest time. But now we can really hear situational sounds like footsteps, bullets, and that sort of thing. And the minimap coupled with sound can actually help you put 2 and 2 together. So you may hear a sniper shot sort of ricochet past your head, and you maybe don't see the guy or he doesn't hit you, so you have no idea really in what direction he is. But from the sound, that you hear the sniper shot, and looking on your minimap, you can sort of put 2 and 2 together to figure out where he is. If you hear a sniper shot, you take cover, and you look on your minimap, and you see a red triangle, and he's looking right at you, you can pretty much be sure that that is the sniper, and you can then either pop out and try and kill him, or if he's too far away, you can at least suppress him and allow yourself to get to safety. If you can't see any red triangle on your minimap, chances are that he's just far too far away for you to actually be able to hit him at all, in which case you're probably just going to want to leg it and do a runner. But if you get used to glancing down at your minimap, it's really going to save your ass time and time again, and I see so many people asking how can I improve my KDR. Well, get good at looking at the minimap. That is how you're going to survive, that is how you're going to get good flanks on the enemy, nice grenade kills, and your KDR will probably shoot up if you start to play it a little bit more carefully and keep checking out that minimap. Given the fact that I record all of my gameplay footage, I have the advantage that I can review all of my gameplay, and a lot of the times I'll see that when I die, I can actually see the guy that came and shot me in the back on the minimap. I just wasn't looking at it, and that's my mistake. So all the time, even now, I'm trying to tell myself, look at the minimap, look at the minimap. So I hope you found these tips useful, guys. I'm really looking forward to see how things are going to pan out with Battlefield 4, because as you guys know, we have commander mode, and part of that is UAV, so that's going to make the minimap more important than ever. On top of that, we just found out with the battle log video that you're going to be able to pull up an in-game map on a second monitor or a tablet or a phone or whatever. So we're actually going to be able to have a full screen map. I mean, I think a lot of people out there these days have 2 monitors. I certainly do. So I'm going to probably be having a full screen map on 1 monitor the whole time, and then using my zoomed in minimap within the game. So that's going to make things a lot easier than it currently is now. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down below if you found this one useful, and if you did, please be sure to give the video a like, subscribe for more in the future, and comment down there, you know, tell me what you guys want more tips on, whether you found this useful or not, and if you have some of your own tips, then feel free to share those with us as well, and I will see you next time. Cheers.